Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for American Horror Stories, Season 2, Episode 8, Lake Lanier. This was Lake Lanier. For sure, it should have been titled Lake Lanier. But anyway, this was our season finale. And I don't know if this was given season finale. It was more so, you know, middle of the season. If we was gonna close with anything, let's close with Bloody Mary. No, let's close with Dollhouse, because Dollhouse and Bloody Mary were the two best episodes of the season, and with Dollhouse being number one. And so we should have closed with that, but I guess they had to lead with it because it was just lackluster. But anyway, let's get to the review. So some teens are out on a boat. They out on the Lake Lanier. And one of the guys is, he's very intrigued about, the history of the town and the history of the area and the lake and all of that. And he want to do some exploring. So he got his map and he's ready to go and take a dive and see what's under there. See if he can see some of the buildings that are under the lake. And just let's put a pin in it. Let's put a pin right here for those of you who do not know why I keep referencing Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier is a lake out here in Georgia. And a lot of people meet their demise at this lake. This is one, when I say the body of water is angry. It's one angry body of water. People go and they continue to go, and I don't know why. It ain't us locals. It's people from here who know the story, who know the urban legend, if you will. Those of us who are from here don't really visit. It's the tourists that continue to come and not leave. Like people really end up dead playing around in that lake. And they love to say it's, oh, they getting drunk and they fall in, or, people can't swim. All that. It's a whole town under the water. It's a whole town under the water. They flooded out a whole town. And I want to say it was a town of African Americans. And so this whole storyline was befitting. It was Lake Lanier. Anyway, let me get back to the review. Y'all did not come here for a history lesson on Lake Lanier. But if you want to, if you're intrigued and you would like to know a little bit more, then I say Google that. I say Google it. But anyway, he's trying to explore. He got his map. And his sister is also with him on the boat. And she ain't finna let him go by himself. So they go under, they take the dive, and they're swimming around, and they come across a bicycle, and it's very old, it's a dated model, and so that's evident. It's been there a long time. And they also see a street sign, all of that. All of a sudden, this hand reaches out from the ground and pulls the little boy. Well, not the little boy, he's a teenager, but pulls the boy under. And so it's drowning him. And of course, his sister, she swam back up to the top, screaming for help. Ain't nobody jump in to help her. I was like, all of y'all should have jumped into action. Ain't nobody jump in, ain't nobody help. But she swam right back down. And her brother was dead by then, and he's just down there floating until the hand reaches up again and drags him further under. Poor thing. Cher, well, that ain't her name on this. I didn't even bother to get her name on this because she's Cher. She's going to be Cher forever. And Cher, how old is Cher? Because I just feel like Cher shouldn't look as old as she is. Or I should say, I don't think that she should look as old as she looks. Because she has to be in her 40s, right? I really couldn't believe that she had aged this much. Granted, we're all going to age and it's going to happen, whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I did not know that we have come this far. You know, I wasn't expecting for her to look like this and to age me as much as she did by looking the way she looked. Because it's like, if you look like this, then what do the people look at me and say? Damn, do they look and say, damn, she got old? No, you can't possibly. Not possible. Not possible. But anyway, Cher and her family, they are home. And it's obvious that the sister has been away. She's been in an asylum since her brother disappeared, you know, or since his demise, because they know he's gone, but they couldn't find his body. Her dad thinks that, you know, she should have stayed a little while, but the mother is like, no, it's time for her to come back home. It's time for her to get back to her regularly scheduled program. Some normalcy, if you will. Cher, she goes and checks in with her daughter. Her daughter's name is Finn. And she's just sharing with her some of the stuff that happened while she was away. And, you know, Finn wishes that she could have been there, but she was away getting well. So it's like, you couldn't have been there for none of it. You needed to go away because you was coming back telling us that a hand reached out the ground and drug your brother to his death when he just drowned. So they thinking that she's mentally unstable, but she really saw what she saw. Cher is in the bathroom running a bath, and she leans over, you know, to turn the faucet off, and this decrepit, ugly hand reaches out of the water and like takes a hold of her arm and is like squeezing it tight. And so now she's seen it too. So it's no denying that something supernatural is happening here. The next day, she's researching Lake Lanier and what's been going on at the lake. And she's startled by her husband. He just comes popping up into the room, and she tells him that, you know, she wants to go look for open teacher positions, but that's not really what she was looking up. She was really doing some researching, but she told him that she was looking for a teaching job. And of course, he doesn't really want her to do that. I'm assuming that she's, you know, been out of work a while, the stay-at-home mom situation. But he says that it's probably best that she couldn't, you know, find another teaching position so she can be around for Finn and be there to help Finn since she's back home. Her husband, he finally admits, you know, he abandoned them when their son died. He kind of checked out emotionally with the two of them. They had to basically fend for themselves, and they had each other. But he not to say he didn't stick around, but I don't think he was there emotionally. Like he was there physically maybe, but when it came to let's mourn in our son, give me a hug at least, I don't think he had that to do. He probably worked his way through all the grief. But he says he wants to be stronger now. And she's just like, we did not want you to be strong for us. We just wanted you to be there. We just need you to be present. Finn, she's having nightmares about her brother. And then we see that Cher, she can't sleep either. She gets up and she hears this. First she looks in the bathroom because she's like, let me see. Was I dreaming earlier? Let me go in here and look. I don't see nothing. Don't look like it looked earlier today. But then she hears water running. She's, you know, following the sound, going down the stairs. And the kitchen sink is running. She go over there and she turn it off, turn around and head back upstairs. And it turns on again. She's like, and see, that would have been enough for me. First of all, coming downstairs and my water running would have been enough for me to be like, because my water faucet is motion sensor, not like walking past it. You would have had to, you know, wave your hand in front of it. And so that would have made me be like, who was down here? Somebody was down here. Yeah, that's weird. But she turned it off and it turns right back on when she walks away. Then she hears this loud sound outside and her door opens. Now, why her door just swinging open? And she still ain't leave. But anyway, she goes outside and the water is like trickling up out of the pool, out of like, I don't know what you would call, I don't have a pool, so I don't know what you would call it, the tank, the pipe, like the I don't know what you would call it, but it was bubbling over onto the sidewalk. And she went and, put the top back over it to close it so the water wouldn't come up out of the pool. And she turns back around and walks out. Walking back to the house. And then water just starts gushing at her feet. And with the water came seaweed. So this was lake water. That still didn't send her running. She turns around and it's her son standing there saying, "Find me, Mom, find me." I was like, oh my goodness. This was like, what was that movie? What Lies Beneath? That's what it made me feel like. That lady was trying to get the, listen, she was trying to get Michelle Pfeiffer to get it. You done married a crazy man. He gonna kill you like he did me. But I think, wasn't he having an affair with her? He was having an affair with her and got her pregnant or something like that. Something sinister. And he thought he was going to take her out. Not so. She came back. She came back. But anyway, he was saying, find me, find me. So his spirit can't rest because his body is still out there in the water. And so, she got to go find her boy. Cher is talking to her husband about what she's been experiencing. And, of course, he thinks that she's only dreaming, but she knows what she saw. So, no, you're not about to try to gaslight me and make me think I'm crazy or that I didn't see what I saw. She want to go back to where he drowned so she could find her baby. And, of course, he's like, the divers looked for weeks. They didn't find anything. There's nothing down there. Like, in some parts of the lake, it's hundreds of feet deep. So, like, Jake is dead. We're going to have to just accept that. She insists on going, and she also insists that, I need to know that you believe me, that you believe what I saw. And she's like, I know that he's dead, but I got to go get him. I got to go get him. His spirit is not resting. He wants to come home. And of course, her husband, still in denial, is like, listen, you on your own. You go and you do what you got to do, but I'm staying here. When he leaves, Finn, she walks in and she's like, I believe you, and I'm down to go. Of course, Cher doesn't feel comfortable taking her, but she's like, all right, but don't tell your daddy you're coming with me. Don't fill him in on the plan. Anyway, they head back out to the Lake Lanier. And they have a lake house out there. So they get to the house, and Cher's just walking through the house. She stops at their balcony, their deck, and she's remembering, the good times when they were there as a family, and it's just taking her back, taking her down memory lane. Finn comes and interrupts or whatever, and they both are like, I swore I'd never come back here. But here we are. We got to go get Jake. Finn kind of feels responsible for her brother's death because she was there. She's the older sibling. She was supposed to protect her little brother, but it's like, girl, there was nothing you could do. there was nothing you could do. You saw that hand grab your brother's foot. And I mean, what was you supposed to do? What was you supposed to do? But anyway, they go out on the water. And they brought a rope, and so Cher's going to tie the rope around her waist, and she's like, if I don't listen, pull me up. If you feel like something is wrong down under here, pull me up. Just pull me up. And so she goes and gets in the water, and she doesn't see anything at first. Finn is just like, maybe we should take it in. Maybe we should try another day. And Cher's just like, nah, I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to go back down here one more time. And so she goes back down, and she sees the bite because Finn mentioned the bite. Like the first time she came up, you didn't see the bite? And she's like, bite? No. But this time when she went back down, she saw the bite. She saw the bite, and she's swimming around, and she also stumbled upon 3 bodies chained to like a cement block. And had these been the blacks, this would have definitely been the Lake Lanier story. Absolutely. It would have resonated with so many people, because this has happened on so many occasions where colonizers think that they can just flood a whole town of black people and leave their remains in the mess And it's not going to come to the surface at some point, or like nobody's going to ever find out about it. With this particular situation, this dam was about to dry out. And so all your little secrets was going to be, you know, at the forefront anyway. Anyway, again, let me get off the soapbox. I really feel a way about Lake Lanier because it should have been the town that it was before it was Lake Lanier. Like that, it shouldn't even be a lake. But the people are dying there, like, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We just keep saying, oh, they drowned. Oh, they were drunk. They drowned. It was just so unfortunate. You know, a jet ski accident. No, that body of water is mad as hell for whatever reason. I used to think that it was over a Native American burial ground or something like that, because the way the people just died left and right over there, it's got to be something else. It's got to be something else. But anyway, she finds those bodies. And she goes, you know, she snatches a dog chain or a necklace off of one of them. And when she goes to, you know, go back to the surface, that hand reaches out and grabs her foot again and is like holding on tight. And of course, Finn is up at the, you know, up on the boat, you know, trying to pull her mama back up, and she ain't able to do it. And so the hand lets go, and then this body just floats up to the top, and then it's her son, and he's just right in front of her, just floating. They face to face. I would have shit a brick. Oh my God. He was just face to face, and I know that was, as a mother, it's like, oh my baby, finally. But then, you know, then it's like, you a whole deceased person. And then, you know, decomposition has started to set in. And of course, in the water, it's just like 10 times worse. Ugh. I don't know what I would have done being face to face with my son's corpse like that. No. Anyway, they find him. And of course, you know, next thing we see is the police are there. And the police really didn't believe, you know, that she saw those other bodies. They're like, we came down here, even finding Jake, they combed that area and didn't see anything. But when it came to those 3 chain bodies, they didn't see that when they were just down there. And she, you know, pulls out the dog tag, and he recognizes the name on it, the family name, and he says that they were a farming family that, you know, owned a farm or whatever on that land before it was a lake. And he tells her that one of the descendants still is around. Her name is Millie Boone. And he's just telling her there are a lot of stories about that family. It's a lot of stories about this town, you know, a lot of secrets. It's a whole lot. And she's like, I ain't really come here to uncover no secrets. I just came here to find my son. And I found my son. So you ain't got to worry about me, you know, trying to uncover nothing or anything like that. But anyway, she talks to her husband, and he fussing, you know, why would you bring our daughter out there back where her brother died, blah, 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 blah. Like he was going in, and then finally she's like, we found him. So she had to bust his bubble. I went out there and did what I said I was going to do, and I done brought my boy home. So now what? Now he talking sweet. You know, I should have been there. Please, Mr. Man, please. Anyway, Cher, she still can't shake, you know, what's happening or what has happened in that town. And, you know, she really wants to find out what's going on. She says she got to go find Millie Boone and, you know, and talk to her. Millie Boone, when they go see her, she says that, you know, people are dying. At first, she's not very, you know, forthcoming. She just uses that excuse. They're dying because they're stupid. You know, they're getting drunk, blah, blah, blah. And then Finn is like, my brother died in that lake and he ain't stupid. Or he ain't no drunk. So, yeah, that's not it. It's something else. She tells them that something grabbed his leg and he drowned. And then Cher tells her that, you know, we didn't just find my son when we went out there. I also found this dog tag, and I found, 3 other bodies that were down there. And she shows her the dog tag, and the lady is like, oh, this is my great-great-grandfather. Uh-huh. And then she starts to tell them the story. Basically, and she mad. Excuse me. I don't know what. That little tickle. I didn't want to just start coughing, but it was starting to strangle me a little bit. Anyway, she tells them, that the 3 people chained to the concrete block, one of them was her great-great-grandfather, and the other 2 guys were also people that went against this man, Reed Prescott. He the one that killed all of them. So we go back in time, and we see that he has rounded up these 3 men because he wanted this dam to come through that little town. And he was going to stop at nothing to see it, happen. And some of the people weren't, they weren't ready to sell. They weren't willing to sell, all of that. And the people those 3 gave him the most trouble, I guess, in his efforts. And so he rounded them up, chained them to that concrete, and then flooded out the farm. Just murder. And so he has kept that dam, in place, even though they have come back year after year after year with their little petitions trying to get it dried up, and it's just always blocked by this law firm. And when she blurts out the name of the law firm, both Finn and Cher looking like, what? And automatically I was like, that must be her husband's law firm. And sure enough, it is. And sure enough, it's her husband's law firm. Cher gets back home, and of course her husband, he already there. They was getting ready to, go back home. And he done came out there to their lake house talking about well, you said you was on your way, and that was like 4 hours ago. So you just popped up. Anyway, she sends Finn, to go get their things together, while she confronts her husband about the bullshit. And at first he tries to act all confused, and then he basically is, comes around full circle and admits to being in charge of the case. And, this dam has done this for the community. It's done that. Prescott was a good man, blah, 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 blah. He's like, whatever they said, that all of that's in the past and it doesn't matter. Look at where we are now, all of that. You didn't care about where the money was coming from when I was buying you a Benz, when we were putting the kids through private school, all of that, the big house. You didn't care about the money and where it was coming from then. It's like, nigga, I shouldn't be worried about where the money coming from when you a whole attorney. That's where I thought it was coming from. You being a practicing attorney. He act like he was in some secret, working for some secret agency, or, doing some type of job where it would be kind of questionable what you're doing and what you might not be doing. Like he in the drug business or something. You a lawyer. I thought you was getting the money from lawyering. Anyway, he finally admits he's a Prescott. This is bloodline, telling Finn, this is your legacy, all that. But just praising the man like he ain't a whole murderer. Killing the people around the town so he can keep his dam in place because he got bodies. And it ain't just them 3. I'm sure it's more. Cher starts to realize, in his coming clean and everything, about being a Prescott and, about funding all this bullshit. And she's, coming to realize, okay, so this is why the lake got Jake. They're upset. They want revenge. And so, yeah, she understands. She understands now. And he still scoffs at her and still is like, that this isn't true. You're crazy, blah, 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 blah. Then the lights just completely go out in the house. It's like, uh-huh. What now? Then the lake outside starts bubbling up. It's either the lake or is it the pool? I think it's the pool. But anyway, it starts bubbling up, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then here come all the people coming, all the zombies coming out of the water, all them people that done died in the water, everybody that is mad, you know, that they done lost their life to this lake. They come up out of that water, and of course the family, you know, they now they want to run, and it ain't nowhere to run. Cher, she looking around like, I don't think they here for us, Finn. I feel like we can relax. Them zombies come right on in and scoop him up, you know, crowd surf him to the water and take him right on under. Finn is, you dead? Oh my God, dead! It's like, girl, let that go. let that go, okay? Good riddance. Cher don't care. Cher knew what it was. She was like, you know, it is what it is at this point, because, you know, Finn is like, what are we going to tell the people I did or not? Nobody's going to believe me. She's like, we won't tell them the truth. We won't tell them the truth, because what else can we say? I mean, listen, the truth was going to come out anyway. It's a drought. This was finna dry up anyway, and in a couple of years, everybody was going to know. So, I mean, and they will know. So, even if they don't believe us, the truth is going to come out. So, we go on with the truth. And that's where we end, y'all. That's where it ends out. It was a good episode, but I don't think it was finale worthy. I don't think it was finale worthy. It was really good to see Cher back on screen, you know, in this type of role. Ryan Murphy is good for reaching back and throwing somebody on screen we ain't seen in a while. He's really good for that, and I just love him for it, because I love to see the people working. I love to see the people booked and busy, especially the people that I saw every day on TV back in the 90s or whatever. Anyway, before I go off on a tangent, let me get off of here. I still have to review Housewives. So be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.